The morning in Accra was unusually quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet that brings comfort, but the heavy, suffocating silence that sits on your chest like something unseen is waiting to happen. In a high-rise apartment overlooking the Atlantic coast, Amara stood barefoot on cold marble tiles, staring at her reflection in the mirror. She looked calm, but inside everything was shaking. Today was Tuesday, and Tuesdays, she would later realize, were never ordinary in her marriage. Her phone vibrated on the table. One message. 6 a.m. Be at the living room. Mama is waiting. Don't keep us waiting. No greeting. No warmth. Just command. Amara exhaled slowly, placed her hand on her stomach without even realizing it, and walked out. She didn't know it yet. But today she was going to be reborn. The living room was already occupied. Mama Na, her mother-in-law, sat in the center like a queen on a throne she believed was eternal. Beside her was her husband, Kojo Mensah. And leaning casually near the window was Brian, her husband. But Brian didn't look at her. Not properly. Not like a husband. More like someone waiting for instructions. On the glass table in front of them were documents. Already printed. Already prepared. Already decided. Sit, Mama Na said sharply. Amara sat. No questions. No protest. Just silence. Kojo cleared his throat. You have brought shame into this family for too long, he said. We have decided this marriage cannot continue. Mama Na pushed the papers forward. Sign. And leave quietly. No drama. Brian still didn't speak. That silence hurt more than all the words combined. Amara picked up the documents. Her fingers didn't tremble. She read every line. Slowly. Deliberately. They expected tears. They expected begging. They expected collapse. Instead, she smiled. A small, tired smile. You prepared this well, she said softly. Mama Na frowned. Just sign. Amara reached for the pen. The room tightened. Even Brian finally looked at her now, as if something unexpected was happening. She signed. One stroke. Then another. Final signature. Silence dropped like a falling wall. Mama Na leaned forward, confused. That's it. Amara placed the pen down gently. Yes. She stood up, adjusted her dress. And then she said it, the words that shattered the room. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. For a moment, no one moved. No one spoke. Even the air forgot how to breathe. Brian's face changed. Kojo sat back slowly. Mama Na blinked once, twice, as if trying to delete what she heard. But Amara was already stepping away. I hope you all find peace with your decision, she said quietly. And she walked out. Outside, the Accra morning sun hit her face. Warm. Real. Alive. For the first time in years, she wasn't walking toward anyone's expectations. She was walking away from them. Her phone rang. She didn't answer. It rang again. Still ignored. Then she stopped at the gate, placed her hand on her stomach again, and whispered, We're going to be okay. And she meant it, even if she had no idea how. 3 days passed. Then 5. Amara didn't return. No apology. No negotiation. Just silence. And that silence became uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Because Kojo Mensah wasn't just a father-in-law. He was an operations manager at Oteno Holdings, one of the most powerful corporate empires in Ghana. Brian also worked there. Mid-level finance. Respectable title. But everything changed on the 6th day, when Amara made a phone call. To her father. Oteno. Founder of Oteno Holdings. A man known not just for wealth, but for ruthless precision in business and unmatched integrity. Daddy, she said quietly. And for the first time in days, her voice cracked. There was a pause. Then his voice came through. Where are you? That was all he asked. No interrogation. No judgment. Just presence. I left, she said. Another pause. Then Oteno said something that changed everything. Good. Now tell me what they did. Within 24 hours, everything collapsed. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Silently. Professionally. Like a system shutting down from the root. Kojo Mensah was summoned to headquarters. Brian too. They walked into the Oteno Holdings boardroom expecting a routine meeting. But what they saw froze them. Amara was sitting there, at the head table. Beside her, Oteno. Kojo frowned. Brian blinked. Then Oteno spoke. "Before we begin," he said calmly, "I want to introduce my daughter." A pause. Amara stood, and for the first time, they saw her. Not as a wife, not as an inconvenience, but as the daughter of the man they had been working under for years. Brian whispered, "Amara?" But she didn't answer him. She just looked away. Oteno leaned back. "You've both worked in my company for years," he said, "and yet you never thought to ask who she was." Silence again. Thick, heavy, unforgiving. Kojo tried to speak first. "Sir, this is a misunderstanding." Oteno raised his hand. "No, it's not." The room froze again. Then Oteno did something unexpected. He didn't fire them. He didn't destroy them. He simply said, "I built this company on discipline, not revenge." He turned to Kojo. "Your position remains, but your conduct will be reviewed." Kojo lowered his head. Then something else happened. Shiro, Brian's younger sister, had recorded the entire divorce confrontation and posted it online as content. It had gone viral. Millions of views. Laughing emojis. Mockery. Humiliation. But now, she sat in silence as the weight of what she had done hit her. Her hands trembled. "I didn't think," she whispered. Oteno looked at her. "You didn't think," he repeated. That was worse than anger. Silence followed. Then Shiro stood up. "I was wrong." Her voice broke. "I'm sorry." And later that evening, she posted a full unedited apology video. No filters. No music. Just truth. And it changed everything. 8 months later. Accra was warm again. Different. Softer. Amara stood in a hospital room holding her newborn daughter. Zawadi. Tiny hands. Soft cries. Real life. Beside her stood Oteno. Silent but proud. Then Brian entered. Slowly. Carefully. He looked like a man who had lost everything and was still learning how to breathe again. He stopped at the doorway. Amara didn't look up immediately. Then she did. Their eyes met. No hatred. But no forgiveness yet either. Just history. Brian stepped forward slightly. "I'm here," he said quietly. Oteno didn't move. Amara looked down at her daughter, then back at Brian, and said something simple, something powerful. "You don't get to undo what happened, but you can choose what happens next." Silence. Then the baby cried softly. And in that sound, there was a beginning. Not a perfect one, but a real one. And that is the story of Signed. A story about dignity. About silence that speaks louder than shouting. About power that was hidden and truth that refused to stay buried. But before you go, if this story touched you even a little, don't just leave. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to the channel for more emotional African stories like this. Backhand index pointing right. Like this video if you believe dignity is worth protecting. Backhand index pointing right. Comment below. Was Amara right to leave, or should she have stayed? Backhand index pointing right, and share this with someone who needs to hear this message today. Because sometimes, walking away is not the end of a story. It is the beginning of power. See you in the next one.